Yeah, well, first off, every state is a border state. And when you have 6 million people illegally coming into our country, I don't know why everybody in America should be outraged at President Biden's administration right now, how they are cutting razor wire, letting the invasion happen. And so, of course, we stand with Governor Abbott. I've already sent troops one time to the southern border. I'm going to do it again as soon as the timing's right, as soon as Governor Abbott needs that. But think about this for a second. There's already 28 ports of entry, and it's already a federal law. It's illegal to enter the country anywhere but those ports of entry. So all that razor wire does is keep people from entering except where they're supposed to. And the thing that I remind people, listen, the last time I flew to Mexico or any country, but for that matter, I landed at an airport and guess what? Went through customs and had to show my passport. Every other country except for ours right now. And it's just so political. And I think the American people are frustrated as all get out.
Governor, there is talks by Democrats that maybe Biden should take control of the Texas National Guard. And I know Governor Abbott is using his constitutional right here to self-defend, to protect his state here. What do you make of calls for that? That seems extremely dangerous to me. And this is how you want to talk about turning temperature up in a country. You start having rhetoric where you're saying the federal government should seize control of the National Guard here. This seems very dangerous to me. What's your take?
Yeah, I totally agree. I mean, that's like throwing a match on a powder keg. Remember, these are Texans, and I've talked to the National Guard in Texas. I know what our soldiers are thinking about. I've even met the Border Patrol officers, and they'll even privately tell you this makes no sense whatsoever. So I think it's super dangerous. If President Biden tries to pull that stunt, then he's also telling the American people, hey, I'm trying to escalate this situation, and I'm also trying to federalize troops to just continue this invasion. I mean, again, this is the only possible explanation is he thinks that this helps him in his next election with more voters. That's the only possible explanation. Or he's not making these decisions and nobody's giving him the information, because nobody that loves America would make the decision that you're seeing happen right now. And that's why you see 25 other governors like me that are supporting Governor Abbott, and we'll send our troops to the border if he tries to pull a stunt like that.
Governor, it seems like the president is speaking out of both sides of his mouth, because all of a sudden he seems to acknowledge that the border is broken. But at the same time, to your point, he's been there for 3 years, and it only gets worse and worse and worse. And again, some of the reasons you suggested as to why make a lot of sense. So does he think Americans are stupid? Does he think they're going to believe that it's actually Republicans' fault that the border is a mess? Try to explain it to us.
You know, I've heard their talking points, and they're trying to blame the Republicans for not funding the border. But if you remember, under President Trump, we had a secure border because this policy that President Trump had was remain in Mexico. And nobody is saying that we don't need legal immigration, and there's a legal process for HB1 visas. That's all fine. But if you're going to seek asylum in the U.S. or you want to come to work in the U.S., you have to do that legally. And President Trump enforced that policy. Day one in office, President Biden started this catch and release program where if you touch the U.S. soil, you're released into the U.S. Then you get a piece of paper that says, you know, show back up in 2 years for your court date. And he's created this mass migration to our country. And so the blame is squarely on President Biden's shoulders.
We say this all the time, Governor, here on our show, American Agenda. He had a playbook that was just continue Trump policies. The border was not like this. Now they're trying to flip the script and blame Republicans. You really can't make it up here, how they've created a crisis. Now they're blaming Republicans. But Governor Kevin Stitt from Oklahoma, sir, we appreciate you coming on American Agenda. We want you to come back very soon, okay?
Thank you. Will do. Thank you so much.